we've got the United States government trying to get involved in the auto industry. They're involved in the mortgage industry, in the insurance industry, everything. And I think, quite frankly, it may be by design. Got somebody who may agree with me on that. Congressman Ron Paul from Texas is on the line with us. Congressman, how are you?
Doing fine, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's my pleasure. Now, you're a big constitutionalist. Is any of this constitutional, what they're trying to do in bailing out anybody?
No, and we got into this mess because we totally ignored the Constitution, because it was our monetary system, and they totally ignoring the fact that we're not supposed to have paper money, and we're not supposed to have a Federal Reserve System, and what they're doing to try to bail everybody out is unconstitutional. But the other day I brought that up to Bernanke, and I said, where do you get this authority? Can't read it in the Constitution. He says he gets it from the Congress.
Well, see, and the Congress didn't get it from the Constitution either, so it's all outside the Constitution.
Yeah, where does the Congress can the Congress replace the Constitution? Well, most of them think they can.
Well, talk to me about this Community Reinvestment Act, which was resurrected by the Clinton administration in the mid-'90s. This is really the source of the problem, in addition to what we're talking about with the Fed and printing more money and all this. But this is the one that went out and made loans to people who didn't deserve to be in a house because they didn't have the credit to do it.
Well, it compounded the errors. If you have inflation where you create money and artificially low interest rates, people will overinvest and they'll malinvest. They'll do the wrong things. But then when government gets involved and directs money in a certain direction, then they produce more inflation, more higher prices. So they're involved in housing, they're involved in medicine, they're involved with education. So you see those costs skyrocketed, but the rising costs of houses, prices of houses just got out of control and had to correct the market. Say, hey, this is out of control. So the market is trying to bring it back into balance. So that bubble has burst. But the Community Reinvestment Act definitely compounded this problem. But the whole thing of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac is encouraging artificially low interest rates, and you have HUD and all these programs were designed, to be compassionate and help people get their homes. But guess what? The poor people who got all these homes under these special programs, they're not keeping their homes because it wasn't, honestly earned.
So I'm assuming you're not for the bailout, right?
No, I don't think so.
So what should we do? And I'm with you. I'm not for the bailout either. I'm of a mind that you just let the thing wash itself out as the market should do, and let's get back to normal.
Yeah, that's what should be done, but they're not even considering that here. But the one example we just went through is Lehman Brothers. They were in the receivership, and there are some assets, and they're going to be bought up. But that's what should happen. But they keep talking, and Paulson keeps talking about, well, we got to take up these illiquid assets. Well, I told him the other day, I said, well, an illiquid asset to me means that it has no value. That's why it's illiquid.
Right.
So who's going to buy them? The government? Who's the government? It's you and me and the taxpayer. So they're going to be stuck with it. They said, well, yeah, but we're going to get a good price and sell them later on when they're worth more money. If that were true, the market would handle it. But you're absolutely right. They should be allowed to go bankrupt. And if you prolong it and delay it and prop it up, the system was flawed, so we're trying to prop up a flawed system. But the sooner we accept the liquidation, the better. And we're doing exactly what we did in the Depression. We're just prolonging it and delaying the problems. And we've been slipping into a recession. They claim we're not in a recession, but I claim the standard of living has been going down, and we don't feel so rich anymore for quite a few years.
Well, less than a minute left. I want to ask you this last question. You think that this thing is going to pass, I would assume, and if you do, what kind of package are we going to get from these folks?
Well, I imagine they're going to get as much money as they ask for, even though the first go-around they might cut back a little bit. And the best guess that we have now is it'll be passed on Sunday because they're terrified what will happen on Monday to the markets and on and on. But then next week they'll worry about something else. The benefit in the markets will be temporary because the problems are overwhelming and they've been built into the system over many, many decades. And this is just delaying the inevitable. So they're right that if they don't pass it, the markets will be unhappy. But if you do pass it, the market's going to be very unhappy in a little bit longer time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, Congressman Ron Paul, appreciate your time, my friend. Thank you, and keep fighting the good fight.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, my pleasure. Quick time out. We're going to be back. More of the Phil Valentine Show. Your phone calls coming up. 1-800-618-PHIL. Stay right where you are.
This WTN update is brought to you this evening by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Good evening. I'm Jerry Minshall at 6:30 in for Chris Petty. Let's first get an ABC update. Here's Gary Nunn.
Negotiators are working through major sticking points on the multi-billion-dollar government bailout, saying that progress is being made.